All right, so Norman and Bradley, are they completely done? Are you kind of rooting for them a little bit?
Norman's still kind of obsessed with Bradley, I'd say. Yeah, it's not easy to get over someone. But there are, yeah, of course, there's other things on his mind, and we certainly meet a new love interest for Norman at some point during the second season.
Oh, really? Have they cast that yet?
I don't think so.
Oh.
I heard Carlton say this earlier, and so I felt I was safe to repeat it. There's always things that you're not sure, well, I shouldn't be saying this, but then when you hear him say it, you think, well, that's safe ground.
Right.
At least I think he said it.
So maybe Bradley will be safe. She won't be having to worry about there's a bullseye right on her at the moment.
Yeah, I think also it's the Miss Watson end, which is kind of immediately picked up upon at the start of season 2.
And have they told you whether or not Norman is responsible for that murder?
I mean, it seems like he is, right?
It's how you're gonna play it out.
No, I don't. That's what I think. Yeah, I've only read a couple of the first of the scripts. Yeah.
So who would Norman be more angry with if Dylan and Bradley got together? His brother or Bradley?
I mean, I think we might see. I think Norman also will grow up slightly more in the second season. So you recognise that you're obsessed with someone, but at some point you have to let that person go, and almost if you really do love someone, you do what's best for them, as opposed to what's just best for yourself. And so I think we have a greater, not only kind of self-awareness, perhaps growing self-awareness of Norman and his condition or who he might be, but also maturing in that way.
Going back when you were first approached to play this character, were you looking for a TV role specifically, or it was just that you liked this script?
Yeah, no, I wasn't looking for anything in particular. I'm still kind of at university, and so the first 2 years I didn't leave Cambridge, just kind of focused on the course, and then this came up and fitted in really nicely to my year abroad, and I could combine it with my studies, and I'll go back when this finishes and this is the second season and be able to complete my degree. So in that way it fitted in well, and just the chance to work with some, Vera had already signed on by that point, and Carlton and Kerry, and I think it helped a lot in the first season to have commitment from the start that we'd be doing 10 episodes, and kind of bypassing that pilot stage, because it was easy to kind of buy into that vision. And also, I guess from a story point of view, it didn't need to be, the pilot has to get the intrigue of the reader, but it's not just a piece to try and sell to a network to say, oh, can we do more? So you got a more natural sense of progression perhaps in the first season because of that.
Were you reluctant at some point of playing a character that was so iconic, and who we only had this image of another face? Were you, maybe I shouldn't do this, or?
I saw it as a good challenge as opposed to something that I wanted to shy away from. It was also the knowing that it was in some ways a reimagining of it, as opposed to just bring it into the contemporary setting, for example, gave us more freedom to bring our own ideas to the characters and to the piece, as opposed to feeling that we were necessarily bound constantly by Psycho and by, I guess in my case, Anthony Perkins' performance.
There still must have been some concern maybe in the first season, or some question, will this work, will this not? Now that you're in the second season, do you feel like, I know it works? Do you feel a little more confident or comfortable or different at all?
Yeah, I guess it's nice when, when it works out. I think the thing about acting in general though is you have to have a certain amount of confidence in your ideas and in what you're doing, and there's no time to kind of be self-conscious or thinking or not committing completely to what your vision is. It's the same, I guess, in life in general. You have to put yourself out there and go for something and have a goal in what you want to achieve, and of course you might not achieve it, but as long as you've done your best, then you don't really have any regrets. As long as you yeah, you set yourself up for failure in some ways, and people are like, oh, this was bad, why did you make all of these decisions? But as long as you've done what you thought was best, that's the main thing.
In season 1, Norman often asked Norma, what's wrong with me, or
Yeah.
that kind of thing, and other folks. Does he get over that, or does he still think that he's got issues?
No, I think there is I guess as I said, that growing sense of self-awareness, of who he might be, which comes with maturing as well. He starts to question, to question more events that happen in the town, and on a personal level. I mean, that's kind of natural.
With all the people that were threatening Norman and his family during the first season, we actually saw him commit very few acts of real violence. And now we're speculating that he actually killed and murdered Miss Watson. What really would have brought that rage or that murderous homicidal state into his mind to think, I need to eliminate this person?
I mean, I'm not sure Norman's ever... It's a kind of split personality thing that he has. He shifts into being someone else and in a way that he can't control, which is what is particularly dangerous. Not the fact that he wants to do things, but that he can't help but do them.
So he felt compelled to kill her. I just have to do it.
Well, I mean, there's a trigger. There's always a trigger as we saw with the dad. The trigger was a kind of violence on his mum, and that's enough. And it's a kind of split thing that you change into this other person that you can't quite control and commit an act that rationally you probably wouldn't have done, but him in his almost trance that he goes into has to do.
How tricky is to empathize with a character like that? Do you ever catch yourself judging him?
No, I like Norman. I think he's he's nice. But he is a nice guy. He's a nice guy. Which is what's interesting about the show. You can root for him and have a hope for him, despite the fact it's kind of fruitless because he's going to end up going down the path that he must go down. But you think, oh no, you could have been a nice guy, Norman.
So in season 2, we're going to meet Norman's uncle, who I believe Norman didn't even know existed, right? Once
until the end of
whole story that Norma told him.
Yeah.
Can you tease what that relationship is going to be like?
I don't really know very much about what that relationship will be about.
Not at that point yet.
I guess I can kind of make it up.
Yeah. That's okay.
No, I haven't heard Carlson say anything either. So.
It's a fun little mystery even for you.
How much are you enjoying the rhythm of television as opposed to movies? You said that it allows you to be able to continue in the university, but how much do you like the 10 episodes a year and the rhythm, the fastness of it? And was it hard to adapt to the medium?
No, I think it's if you enjoy acting, which I do, it's great because you get to do more of it. The nice thing with television is that nothing needs to be forced, or especially with this story, it would be impossible to tell it in a film in 2 hours. So you get that chance to build in subtleties and nuances, and as opposed to feeling you have to go all out from the start. I think you also have slightly more responsibility as an actor on a television show, because the directors come and go, you have different directors every episode, and so the person who's really looking out for you on set every day is yourself, to maintain that character arc and make sure that everything fits together in a realistic way. So you have more input, and I like that.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you, cheers.